I look at things a little different, along the z-axis. Sound action followed by endless elaboration, the quiet in light of glint, the after-speak, an open and shut case. You have to start somewhere. Leaves move 2 yards off in sun. Window displays general parametric silence in play. Pillow block, a journal in its bearings, a dense clump of grass, buoyancy espousal. My brain is by way of being mush, stymie, the unbearable penis of boring. FaceTime, pillars of salt in reverse, the surrealist moment in exchange for a lovely evening, lying prone inside the mechanism. Polytheism doesn't strike me as too much to ask. Turquoise grabbers, elm, K, tame. To write is to crawl through a narrow passage, to read, to survey the wreckage, maximizing profit yields at every feasible juncture, the voice of reason. Flexible digits, physical reality is jammed between Plato's forms and your and my perceptions, according to the New York Times. Can't recall how short-term was, no recollection of how long-term was. Crowd edging forward intermittently pushes space pockets backwards. My theory is crisis pushes the pragmatist in the direction of the visionary. My experience is bus proceeds haltingly through Friday night drizzle and exhaust. In the winter, we know which side our butts are bedded on. Apple back into an eye. DNA is the computer. Past tense, ambulatory, consignment. Triangular colors, way of life on hold, similar parameter. Strange, bright, large, and various darkened things. Sound people, take flight, square it with the boss. Half a mind flashes past. Disrobe, connected hammering. Magic, fashioning, harmony in the blood. She walks across the yard. Anything is possible. Wonder what'll happen. Spontaneous rubble housing lots, inside history, outside time. Percentages, cross-sectional sofa, a mere idea rubbed blank against the curve of day. What powers have auspice to break the mold, once thought put in place, now bested by act, collision chain, aviary, consumption. As to what is beautiful, contemporary, fleece, amber-colored, we are past it now, overlooking the little gold corner. It's hard to say, feelings coming through the wireless, patched over with sandy moss, a kept lantern, Boston Stadium Dragoons, not at all what I expected, rosary, recursive grammar, parallelism to burn, and placed before you get home, to surprise you without knowing what to wear. Without the wear and tear, we'd be younger than that to which we bear witness, but that by which we are smitten are the new buds bursting onto the scene. As always, this script repeats itself in 100,000 signatures, toppling totals every instant. Train window instant youth serum up and down the line, adrenal Mayday pentax softening against the hinge of earth, left to cool on the sill, my country awake in another county, narrowly missed by now. Bouncing back from, when you least expected, harmony closed off on one side. That's the limit, a stimulant, white glare off the floor, speculation, systematic blast furnace of an afternoon, temporizing. Old nickel hardware coupon, dynasty mesh salute, moving per capita, cautionary, big time, handsome and extremely shy, in a time zone repeatedly, with one hand tied behind, rent-free, time of day, lit magic. Disaffected, intransigent, vanish, happenstance, solely argumentative, watershed heat. You have 2 moments to make your case. Birth, death, and a window of opportunity open on fields rushing by. Woo-hoo! Ghost traps, caravan and descent, topiary extraction, yarrow, yellow, way station, crippling blast of sentimentality, harbinger, roll bar, camouflage. High in the stirrups. I mean, you could go there. See for yourself. Role play, unintimidated, bad air, barriers to entry, the same results, spatula, betting man, without warning, the fix is in, nailed to a shrine incineration, unquote. I tell you, my pivot foot did not move. The whole story gobbled up in short takes that phase, trailing sparks that land every so often on the plot line, seen upside down as stars waiting to be born. Not knowing, not explaining, not repeating, just sitting, waiting for the garbage trucks of morning. Thus, the 20th century caves in around the edges in anticipation of night, the long seminar. The formulaic, leaning into the future, empathy, glancing off flower beds in light, purple cattails thriving, urge contained in light. A single iron rail, 10,000 miles long, fall to the ground, get up from the sky. I'm going to read one more short one. This is from a series of collaborations and correspondence works that I've been doing for the last few years with Ted Greenwald. And the most recent section of this work that we've been working on consists of 6 sestinas each, and we swapped words to write them. So I got these words from Ted. Wrote this one. The confidence mark. Up in the morning and off to school, as Chuck Berry so rhythmically sings out, you lay your shoulder to the big wheel and push. That's how the day breaks. No big deal. Everything is absolutely interesting when you put a large or small amount of shelf space between yourself. Of common occasion, this middle distance is the very place. Of sole proprietorship, such eminent domain is no place for this old mensch lifting the proverbial so. A lot of times you find yourself tuned into an extra big what have you when what you put up, A lot of times you find yourself tuned into an extra big what have you when what you'd put up with to get out of there is a great deal. We ought to go down West Holly. I hear they have a great deal on electric wood. Do tell. I wonder what kind of place would sell deer antlers and light bulbs, where you put your name in and later you get called up. That's not so unusual. I once ripped and burned an excerpt from a really big shoe. By gum, if you want something done right, do it yourself. And speaking of New England, why don't you go get yourself a new mother tongue, Lou? As something you have to deal with, along with various other requirements heretofore big, plus being born along on back of history of place. The question mark is carried forward from thought to not, so it disappears in the oncoming rush of call and put. All of these distractions only serve to remind you to put one foot in front of the other, one leg at a time. You yourself, not what some person says it is like. So what if signals get crossed? Those are the terms of the deal that you entered into it freely, of your own accord. A big reason for your being here has nothing to do with place. Everything depends on where you place your bets, gentlemen. And you ladies, please put on your loveliest outfits. We're going to a big party, one that starts wherever you find yourself. And just as a dealer continues to deal the cards to the last gambler, this too is not always so. The voice in the night is so out of place, it craters the deal. But never mind. Just put yourself back in the picture, however much you paid to be big.